watching KWQC TV6, the Quad Cities news leader.
Paula Sands Live. Woo, here we go. It's the sprint to the end of the year, I always feel, in November, so let's do it together. If you watched the show on Wednesday, you saw these moms and these babies showing off how to wear your baby. I know it makes it sound like they're an accessory, right? But we showed all the different devices, the slings and the backpacks to carry your child close to you in the front, side, or the back. Look at that little gal just jumping right into her little sling there. That is one of the topics of the Quad Cities Birth Conference going on for new moms and moms-to-be. Well, the woman you're about to meet now is the keynote speaker of that event. Jill Savage is so enthusiastic about motherhood. She's written, 8 books or so about it, one of them entitled No More Perfect Moms. Jill Savage joins me now. Imperfect mom as she is, as we all are, right, Jill? It's great to have you in the Quad Cities.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Have you ever been?
Never.
Well, it's great to have you. With all these other new moms, what do you think, what do most of them have to learn that they probably haven't considered yet? Brand new moms with babies.
That they can't do it all and they can't be perfect.
Why do we think we have to be or should be for our children and our husbands?
Well, I think part of the reason is that we're kind of surrounded by perfect all the time. I mean, all you have to do is walk through the checkout line at the grocery store and you see pictures of, you know, on the front of magazines, pictures of perfect bodies, perfect living rooms.
All that photoshopping.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly. And so even if we say, oh, it's not real, way down deep inside, a lot of times we compare ourselves, our, you know, imperfect life to what we see in the perfection around us. And I think it becomes very dangerous. We've got Pinterest and Facebook and all of that, and I'm, you know, I'm all for those things, but at the same time, they can affect us very negatively.
Why is it that we read those posts, Facebook, Pinterest, and we think the other people do have perfect lives?
Right.
Even though we know that can't be true, but they somehow look better than ours.
And that's because we are comparing our behind-the-scenes reels to their highlight reels.
Oh, good.
We're comparing our insides to their outsides, and that's an unfair comparison. So I really, when I wrote No More Perfect Moms, what I wanted to do is really encourage women to share their insides with each other so that we can be encouraged in knowing that really we all struggle with some of the same stuff, that life is sometimes hard and difficult, that we can celebrate together the good things in life, but also we can know that we're not alone in the hard things.
Give us some practical steps. You just said just women sharing. Tomorrow when you give your special talk for the conference here in town, what are you going to tell these young moms that they ought to start doing now that will set up these habits that will help them and their whole families down the road?
Right.
What can they do?
Well, we're going to talk about, I believe that we are all infected with something that I call the perfection infection, but I think there are antidotes to that infection. And so we're going to talk about giving yourself grace. And when I say grace, I like to say that, like, when I give my spouse grace, it is allowing him to be human without raking him over the coals for everything he does wrong. My kids, myself, same thing. We're going to talk about forgiveness and learning to forgive yourself in those moments when you do make a mistake. I mean, I start off the book, and I even start off my message talking about a time I forgot one of my kids at school. And I got a phone call, you know, from a teary-eyed 13-year-old, "Mommy, did you forget me?" And the answer to that was yes.
Did you say that at the time? I did. Which one are you? Because you have 5 kids, right?
I do.
Yeah. Which one are you?
It struck me at that moment. I had too many kids, and it was too late to send any of them back. But, you know, we're going to talk about forgiving ourselves and forgiving others for their imperfections as well. Humility, being able to be humble enough to say, I messed up. Because even in that moment, you know what, I messed up, but I taught my daughter what to do when you do mess up. Because as soon as I picked her up and got her in the car, I put my arms around her and I said, "I'm so sorry. Will you please forgive me?" So even in my mistake, a good thing came out of that.
Isn't that often the case? It's almost always the case. More lessons are to be learned in trials.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, absolutely. You know, in some research that I have done for some of my books, I learned that the brain optimally grows in failure. the brain optimally grows. So I always tell moms, the next time your child messes up, you just say to yourself, oh yeah, their brain is growing.
Yes, all that growth going on. Yeah, they're brain growers, all right, right? So you're speaking tomorrow. This is at this Quad Cities Birth Conference going on here in the Quad Cities, and you have another speech coming up. You want to let us know about this, even though it's about 4 hours away from here.
Yeah, in Rochester, Minnesota, which is about a 4-hour drive from Quad Cities, is the No More Perfect Moms Conference, which is a Hearts at Home conference. Hearts at Home is the organization I lead for moms. So yeah, twice in the next week, I'm speaking on this topic, and it's both are certainly accessible to Quad City moms.
We will link all of that online for you folks. Quad Cities Birth Conference is the local one we're talking about tomorrow from 9 to noon. There's so much to be learned there. If you saw a preview the other day, showed so many different things going on, and then when you hear Jill's message, you're really going to be very glad that you were there. So so that's coming up tomorrow, and then the other one, your actual, Perfect Moms Conference.
Yes.
What's the date on that, Jill?
And that one is November 8th and 9th. It's a Friday night, Saturday.
That's next weekend.
Next weekend, and we already have 2,300 moms coming to that conference.
Nice.
So
good.
Yeah, it'll be a great time.
We have a lot to learn from each other, and Jill's going to lead the way on that. It's November. Are you ready?
I know.
Here come the holidays, right?
I
Just
know
like
it.
that. Thank you, Jill. It's great to have you
Thank
here
you.
today.
Thanks for having me.
So up next today.